Hi everybody. So you've seen my other craft room videos. This is the other half of my basement. The part that I'm standing in is where the kids kind of hang out and they watch TV and play Xbox and all that stuff. So the back part that I'm going to show you guys, wave Leah, is the part where I do the card making and all the crafty goodness that goes on. So today I put together that big Ikea wall unit there. So that's pretty much what I want to show you guys. But I know you guys often ask me questions like, how do I organize stuff? And I'm constantly moving things around and organizing them. So I just wanted to give you guys a little tour real quick. So over here where Leah is kind of her space. So she has her computer set up, which is just my old computer. And then that is her stamping and crafty stuff. And this is Xavier, who's about to sit at this old school desk we found. And this is Xavier, who's about to sit at this old school desk we found at a yard sale. So this is just like stuff that the kids use, my hand-me-down stuff. This little corner here of stuff, I haven't figured out what to do with it yet. This is just stuff that needs to be organized and put away. And as you can see, this is pretty much filled with paper, more paper. The things in the bins do have a purpose. I just have to put them away. These little containers here are still empty. So I will be putting these items, like this is my Tim Holtz items. This is my stamp maker. So I'll be moving those things into baskets. And then I have these two little drawer things I need to put together and then put them inside the cabinets here. But overall, I'm pretty happy that all of my paper is finally in one area for the most part. Hi, Dee. Over here is an older bookshelf, which has all the old scrapbooks. And then these are just some specialty paper I have in here. And this is what I call my drying rack. So when I'm making something, hi, Rosie. When I'm making a card and it has like paint or Nuvo drops on it and I want it to dry, I put it in my little drying rack. So that's all that is. Hi, Nikki. Hi, Heidi. Hi, cardstock collector. So that was a big project for today. Xavier helped me put it together. The paper dividers, these clear ones, I think I picked up at Michael's. It came as a giant rack. I just broke it up. So these are my 12 by 12 papers. These little ones are for my 8.5 by 11 papers. This came from Ikea. So I have a couple of those. And it just makes it easy because they just slide out. And I don't have my paper separated by companies. I just do it by color. Most of it is Stampin' Up paper. So just giving you guys a view. So this really brightened up the room too, because it was just all kinds of brown. It was basically all of these little container things all stacked up on top of each other. So I'm trying to get that paper more organized and clearly telling myself that I don't need to buy any more paper, although I do have an obsession with pattern paper and all things foil paper. You guys know that. So on this side of the room is Leah, they're saying hi.
Hi.
So on this side of my room is my computer, my Cameo machine. That light is normally in the back corner when I'm filming. Pretty big trash can for the kids. And then what I did here in this big Ikea unit is I put all my foiling stuff in here. So my foil press, my Creative Vision stamps foil, my Toto heat foiling. So I just kind of shoved everything in there. Down at the bottom is my Xyron and all of his good stickiness. In these little cabinets are like my little pieces of paper, like my odds and ends 6 by 6 paper. Heidi, my pattern paper is like this. Here it is. I kind of have it in little, like these little buckets. Like that. I try to keep like Christmas paper, nature paper, kids paper. I have like a theme in my head that I try to keep it in. And then in the drawers, in this drawer are all of my embossing folders. Here, and I need to just open these guys and shove them in there. And then in this drawer are my background stamps. So these are Obsession Impression and Stampin' Up, and anything that's like a larger stamp or a background stamp is in this drawer. This is any of my large Sizzix dies, which I pretty much have gotten rid of most of them. And then I think this is my stationery / pen drawer. So all of my pens, because I collect fountain pens and things like that, stationery, they are in this drawer here. And then the bottom drawer is just full of junk. What I was able to do was clean this area up today. So let me just show you guys what this area. So this is where I do my crafting. This is the little nook underneath the stairs. So this would normally be like a storage area. So I made this my little crafting nook. And so this is where I sit, and then this is the mount that I use, and I normally have my Surface on here, which is like a little laptop, and it can, I'm trying to do this with one hand, you can, this is a pretty neat stand, because you can stand it up, or as you can see there, you can mount it, but what I normally do is I put the Surface on there, and I mounted it to my bookshelf there, but it does come out a little further, and then you guys can see what I'm doing. So my computer's over there, and then my Cameo's there, and then these are the vinyl that I use when I'm cutting with my Cameo, which is why they're over there. This is one of the lights that I use when I'm filming. In this box are the box of Christmas cards that I have made and have to mail out. And yes, I will be mailing out cards to you guys. This little pile is just stuff I need to, like, you know, put together, odds and end pieces. I have my little mink tucked in the corner there. So I know the shelf looks like it's a mess, but everything has its purpose. Up top are like tiny little mini stamps that I didn't really want to put like in a binder. So these are tiny stamps that are like sentiment stamps. So they're in these tiny little drawers up here. And then my label maker, more little like letter stamps are in there. And then in here is glitter. I don't do a whole bunch with glitter, but this is where I store my glitter. So in here are little pots of glitter in here. And these little containers back here, I know this is a lot of junk, are my like these kinds of things. Gems, jewels, sequins. The pre-sticky ones are in these little containers, and then in here is Post-it notes and Inka Dinka Doo masking tape, so that's what's in there. These are cards that I have received, or I need to, like, I save up like birthday cards and things like that. So they're just cards if I need, that I make and sometimes don't send out, and this is kind of like my stash where if I need to grab a card quick, I can pull that out of there. So this is where I sit. And right above my head, this is the light that I tried to cover with vellum so that it's not too bright when you guys are watching. But behind Leah's beautiful picture, this is craft foam, the sticky craft foam. In here are my little acrylic stamping blocks. These are the larger stamping blocks. Little pencil sharpener, sticky eraser, the scrape it tool for the Tim Holtz thing. And then in here are like glue dot adhesives and Stampin' Up adhesives. This little thing comes out, and I just have them all tucked in here. Okay, and then over here are my alcohol markers. So I have my Spectrum Noir markers and my Chow markers. So any kind of markers that I frequently reach for. And then over here are like odds and end pieces that I don't reach for often, but they're there. Like my snow marker, extra tweezers, the die cutting tweezers, my personalized stamps, my coupons, things like that. And then as I'm sitting at the desk, this is what I am looking at that you guys don't get to see. Hi, Heidi. Hi, Grace. So in this little drawer is like, I don't even know what's in here. Oh, my stamp positioner. One of the old-fashioned ones before the Misty came out. And then this has extra scissors in there. This has extra glue in there. Okay, and then over here, this is like little die cuts and things that I have that are just out. My little ribbon thing. These are the Avery L pockets that I use for my stamps. And then the my most frequently used inks, black inks and Versamark inks. And then here's my Score Buddy. There's my mini Misty. This is just like Post-it notes, and then my cutting thing. And this little container That I got from HSN. It is made by Anna Griffin. So that's what that little, it's just a little shelf. And then this little box is just scraps. So when I have scraps, I throw them in this box, and then every once in a while I'll go through and throw out the scraps that I'm not using. But it's like pieces that aren't small enough to put in the drawer, but aren't big enough to throw away yet. So that's all that is scraps. And the desk, this is an Ikea desk. So you can see it has the drawers on this side, the cabinet on this side, and on here I hung a little basket, and here are my stamp cleaning supplies. So my rags, my sprayer full of cleaner, which is usually hung like that. So when you guys hear me like reaching over, and this is my little Stampin' Sponge cleaner. This is all I'm doing, is just reaching over and cleaning my stamps and throwing everything back in. There's my large tonic trimmer under the desk. In here are my stencils. So they're in a little basket here. And then my dies, which are in this big basket here. And then the dies that I haven't put away yet, I stick in this little magnetic thing and then put them away later. And there's some magnetic tape there. All right. The desk, they no longer make at Ikea, but it has this little lip, and I'm able to slide. I'm probably going to get another one of these, but letting my little mini inks fit in here. And then I have 2 of the tins here filled with the Altenew inks. So I have those. My tonic mat, of course. And then on this side, I have my Tim Holtz, my nonstick, what do we call that? Cutting mat, self-healing cutting mat, my regular size Misty, and then my Stampin' Up magazines are there. To the left of the desk is my Gemini. And then inside the drawer are all my cutting plates. And then in this drawer is like tulle and twine kind of stuff. This actually goes in the top drawer. And then this drawer I just recently emptied and threw extra cutting plates in here. And I have this, what is this thing called? This heat tool. Does anybody use this? I gotta put this in my giveaway pile. I never use it. And then the bottom is a filing cabinet, which I started to use, but there's really nothing in there but junk mail at this point. Over here behind me, so that's the large cabinet there. Down there are little books of stamps when I used to store them in books, and I just kind of left them there. I just recently got to move this stuff in here. So these are my coloring items. So I have my color pencils in there, Gamsol, blending stumps, watercolors, and markers. So this is kind of like my coloring area. And then up here is my distress tool. And these were all on the other side of the cabinet. But since I was able to take all the paper out of here and move it to the Ikea unit, this freed up some space. This is my most frequently used paper. So my Nina Solar White and my Stampin' Up paper and my heavy cardstock for making card bases. Up top here are just some odds and ends. So these are little specialty papers like gloss paper and Spectrum Noir paper, and just specialty stamping papers are in here. And then up top, these are all of my alcohol inks, alcohol tools, alcohol stuff. So all of this stuff all got moved over from another cabinet because everything in here was filled with 8.5 by 11 paper, and I was able to move all that over to the Ikea unit. So here are my Stampin' Up inks, some of my older Close to My Heart inks, and I got this pegboard from Ikea, so I put that up, and I put my Nuvo drops on there. Little odds and end pieces in here. I will say I do not like these things. I wish I had bought more of these open ones. These are metal. These little plastic things, if you don't line them up right, they're a pain going in there. So I wish I had bought more of these open ones. So if you're thinking about getting this, it's pretty neat. But these little things kind of useless to me. And then here is a little shelf with some cards you guys have sent me. This one's from Jennifer McGuire. And some cards that you guys have sent, some more. Some Christmassy designs. Like this little saying here. I don't have a husband anymore, so I don't have to worry about that. And then I have my big foil back there. And that's an Ikea bag holder thing. And then some more odds and ends. So this is an old Michael's shelf. And there's some artwork there from my kids. And in here I have all of my like messy stuff. So, what do you call it? Nouveau paste, not Nouveau paste, the Nouveau glitter, the Bow Bunny glitter, all of my new obsession, the Brutus Monroe glitter. Here's some more texture paste. So shimmery sprays, some ribbons. I don't really use too much ribbon. That's just there for decoration. Some distress inks. And then I just put this mat and distress mat down here. This table was completely covered in paper and junk, so that all got moved. And this is the surface that I normally record on. Now my little heat tool sits here in this little cubby hole. And these are old retired Stampin' Up inks. I wanted to separate them from the regular inks. And then up here, this wooden unit my friend Kim, her husband, made for me. It stores my inks and my re-inkers. So I have my ombre inks on the right side. And then my Stays On inks on the left side, because I don't really use them as often. And the rest of this is just junk. It's just odds and ends junk that I didn't know where to put it, and it just got stuck over there. There's my little fireworks sprays. These are the Heidi Swap sprays, some stamp cleaner. And then on this side, that's just the right of the desk here, this bookshelf's going to get replaced because it's actually broken. I've kind of like rigged it to stay together, but I did buy a new Ikea bookshelf, so I will be putting that together and putting it here. But this is how I store the majority of my stamps. So this is most of the stamps that I use on a daily basis. This is where they are. And I have started to kind of categorize them by company. It's kind of weird because I never used to do that before. But in here I have like my kitchen sink stamps. This is kind of right now newer, but odds and ends stamps to me. These are all my Creative Vision stamps. And the rest of these are based on my own categories. So, like this one is animals. This one is beachy / nautical themes. This one is baby. And then down here I have boys and girls. I have butterflies. I have birthdays. I have trees, flowers, sympathy, sentiments. So this is how I store, and you can see some of them are labeled, how I store them. This unit here is, my mom used to have a beauty supply store. So these were the display cases, and she was going to throw them out. So I snatched them up, and I have all my Distress Oxides on the left. And then I have all my regular Distress Inks on the right. Hi, Wilda. And this is just like my little sketchbook in there. And that's pretty much it. Underneath are more odds and ends, like punches. Yes, I still have some punches, border punches, things like that. And then these are designed by, usually it's mostly scrapbook paper, because I used to do a lot of scrapbooking and I kind of got away from doing it. Over here, some watercolors, and then just some more odds and ends. Like in this drawer is my magnetic paper and my wipes. And then underneath there would be crafty things, like when I make holiday ornaments there and there. And this is to the right of the desk. So these are all my extra trimmers, my old trimmers, crafting stamp mat. This is my foam when I'm mounting stamps. And then in here, it's exactly what it says. So this is like Mod Podge and spray glue and extra thick embossing powder. Here is like sponges. And then eyelets, which I don't really use those too much. And here are my brushes and my Nouveau mousses and my jars that are empty. A little sign. And then over here are my old wooden mounted stamps that I just like looking at. So they're on that little rack there. I picked that up off of eBay. Some more punches. Hello, Eden. And over here are my markers, my gelatos, some washi tape. These drawers are full of washi tape. My little speaker when I'm listening to music. I put my phone there. There's a phone charger back there. And then my little speaker to play music. So that is the tour of my little messy, crafty space, so you guys can see. This is what you guys mostly see right here. And now you get to see where actually everything is. Hi, Tracy. Tracy, Alaska's on my bucket list. Someday I would like to go. Thank you, Eden. Yeah, I'm slightly obsessed with foiling. So I have foiling up there. And then I just showed in the cabinet in here. I have some more foils there. These are all of my hot foiling from Toto, Spellbinders, Crafter's Companion. And then this is all my Creative Vision Stamps foil. I have every single color of Creative Vision Stamps foil. So I have a lot of foiling. And then the kids' artwork. Look how cute Xavier used to be. So there we go, guys. And there you can see their messy side of the room where they watch TV and play.
No, I found it.
And there's Miss Leah. I don't know what she's doing. So here you go, guys. That's the tour. And then what I will do next is replace that big bookshelf there with the new bookshelf I got from Ikea.
Whoa.
All right. If you guys have any questions, post them down below. I'll be happy to answer them for you. But this is where all of the crafty goodness that you guys asked me to try out comes out. And yes, my husband, as you guys have seen. There we go. So thanks for watching, guys. What do we say?
Like and subscribe and don't on stamping.
What? Like and subscribe and
Keep
keep on stamping. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Boy, Xavier.